What's up, crypto legends? The price of Bitcoin got a beautiful swing failure pattern from the local highs created the last few days for a beautiful short. This is based on a major resistance zone where we have that daily level. We have the value area high from the entire range of December. Today, we're talking about the most important support levels that we do have, the possible scenarios that could happen for Bitcoin, and also the confirmation that we need here to see big bearish momentum potentially to go below $42,000. So far, we're not out of the woods here. We're still very much in bullish market structure. We're talking about the DXY, guys. I'm going to explain here. If we were to go sideways by next week on the DXY at this range, it is not going to be looking good. We're looking for a possible bounce for the DXY. So far, we are dropping aggressively, so we need to see that sideways momentum. If we don't go sideways, of course, that is bullish. We're also talking about some good news today, so make sure to stay tuned. Hi there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode. Let's dive in right away into the Bitcoin price, because today, yes, we did get that test from the local highs from the last few days where we did have that daily level also, and it's also the value area high from the entire range of December. Getting that beautiful retest right there, big rejection, coming back down exactly to the value area low of this trading range of the last few days. We are getting supported right now from that level. So if you did manage to jump into that short position here of a beautiful rejection, basically to short round with this range here with your stop loss, this range here where we are getting a consolidation, we know consolidations could be a sign of the price finding support and looking for a possible reversal. So it's definitely a take profit one if you manage to get into that short rejection from the previous day highs. Now let's analyze the situation. No doubt the price of Bitcoin is at support. We have been getting some beautiful bounces from this big major neckline here from this possible double bottom scenario, as we can see on the chart. Big level of resistance bouncing consistently every last few days. Now the question is this going to be worrying if we do lose that level? I'm going to explain the situation here, because overall here from the lows of this range, yes, we can possibly test the lows and create a failed auction swing failure pattern, just like we did a few hours ago from the local highs right over here. So we know if we do test the lows of a range and we do get that quick rejection from that level, it's possibly a reversal sign to go to the other side of the range, basically the lows right over here, as you can see on the chart. Now, if we were to test those lows, which is sitting at 43,200 to 300 range, and create that fake out, quick wick to the downside, get back above here, this range, then obviously that is going to be a sign of strength. That is going to be a quick swing failure pattern for the price, possibly to get a recovery, to come back to the local highs here, basically the value area high of this entire trading range of the last few days. Something to take into consideration, guys, okay? This level here where we have been bouncing, it's a crucial zone. So we do not know if it's going to fake out or it's going to break down here. Now, if it does create that fake out, we get back above these lows, that is going to be a clear sign. If it does get that beautiful wick, just like we did here from the highs the last few hours ago, it's going to be a possible long trigger managing risk here to go all the way back here to the highs of the range and maybe possibly even break it to create new yearly highs here in the next coming days. Something to take into consideration. It's a possible trading setup. Now, on the other side, hey, Andy, what happens if we do break down here from that level? Of course, we are testing the value area high of this entire range of December. What if the price starts moving down aggressively? Well, of course, if we start moving here with a huge amount of volume, guys, it is something to take into consideration. Yes, if volume starts picking up and we start losing these lows very aggressively without recovering, of course, there will be no long trade to be taken on this major drop unless we recover from the local lows the last few days. So we need to take this zone into consideration. Yes, high volume, then this means that continuation to the downside is very, very possible. However, there is a bullish case scenario as well. When we do take a look at this, it is very corrective. It is not impulsive, in my opinion. It's going to take a lot of power for the price of Bitcoin to suddenly start moving to the upside. Yes, there is a bullish case scenario, of course, that being here a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could actually dip here to round about 50% Fibonacci to the 618 from this pivot low to the pivot high created a few hours ago. So it is acceptable here to get in between 50% and 618, not going through 618 Fibonacci, because then it would not be acceptable for this to create another fifth wave. So of course, if we were to get beneath this consolidation right over here, there is no doubt in my mind that we are going to go to the value area low and test the next major support level, which is sitting at 41,850. Very important, of course, there is a bullish case scenario where you could actually pierce through this level. It's going to be looking very aggressive, but you're going to start holding here in between 50% and 618 in a double bottom scenario. If this were to be the case, we do have the bullish case scenario, okay, that could happen, which is that 5 waves to the upside in a diagonal structure. So pay attention here in the coming hours. If we were to drop down here to the $43,000 area, okay, and we start consolidating and losing the momentum, if we drop here from a severe level of support, I want the drop to be extremely fast. I want power in the move for continuation to the downside. If we start getting that powerful move to the downside and start consolidating here slightly above $43,000, we could look for that local double bottom scenario here for the price to actually start getting a recovery here in a fourth wave to create a fifth wave. So we're going to analyze here very patiently to see what happens in between 43.1k and 42.9k here in between 50% and 618 to see if the price is actually going to stop at that level here for us to get into a long setup. Now, if it is going to start falling very aggressively, guys, we're not consolidating, we're just falling and falling. We are not interested. The moment you get through the 618 Fibonacci, I can already tell you after getting here through this order block right over there, you know, the momentum to the downside to the 41,850 level is going to be imminent in my opinion. The moment you start losing here the 42,800 range, all of this for me is going to be good for that continuation to the downside here to this value area low of the entire range and this low over here. There's really not much support. Yes, 7.8 here, Fibonacci from this pivot low to the pivot high might get a small little reaction, but overall it does look like that we could waterfall all the way down here to the value area low. So pay attention here, guys. This is the most important zone. There is this level over here where you could actually just create a swing failure pattern and then rise to the upside. Of course, that would still be in that count of 5 waves to the upside. Also, if we were to come all the way down here in between 50% and 618, I would only get into a long position if we start forming a consolidation double bottom at this range. That will be looking pretty good for the price to get a move to the upside. Only if we consolidate here for a few hours at this $43,000 area. Now, on the other side, we don't move down from here. We're not testing the load. We start moving here to the upside. Pay attention, because if we've already tested the highs a few hours ago for that swing failure pattern, obviously to take profits here at the value area low of this trading range, suddenly if we do get that bounce, just imagine we do get the bounce here, what is the next scenario? Well, obviously, as we've already claimed that liquidity here, I would expect the price to actually break through another swing failure pattern from the swing failure pattern high. I don't think so. If we start piecing through this level, I am looking for new yearly highs, and obviously the yearly high here created on the 8th of December. We're going to analyze the situation. I'm not too sure if this is going to create a successful swing failure pattern. Of course, it is possible, much more larger double top. However, I personally believe that we are going to pierce through here this zone and go to the 45,500 where we have that monthly. We have the yearly at 46.2. This is the range that I'm interested in to see what kind of consolidation we're creating here. If we do create that range, there's going to be some beautiful setups that obviously me and the Legends community are going to take a look at here to take advantage. Something that we talked about, of course, was that swing failure pattern of the local highs. Some people jumping into that short position. And obviously, this is a take profit zone as we are holding a bit of support from this value area low of this range over the last few days. So that is basically it, guys. The levels here, we need a big breakout above the local highs from this range. If we come back up and test it, we've already created that, test here a few times. So if we come back up again, I would personally believe that the price is just finally going to pierce through here as the liquidity has been kind of grabbed here with this wick to the upside. So I would be expecting the price to have some momentum to the upside. Most important levels here, obviously the yearly high. It could actually just create one wick and then have major corrective move, something that we'll be paying attention here in the next coming days. If we do pierce through that level, the 45.5, 46.2 is the zone that I expect some reactions here. This is the zone I would be interested in possible shorts if we start consolidating at that zone. That is basically it here for the price of Bitcoin. Very clear here, this zone, what we are looking for, and also this zone, what we are looking for. Remember, guys, on Bybit, you do get an incredible bonus of $30,000. This is a deposit bonus. Of course, depending on what you deposit, you'll be getting airdropped that bonus. If you cannot use Bybit, one of my favorite crypto trading platforms is Mexc. Also, you get $20,000. This is a deposit bonus that you get airdropped, okay? 500, 1,000, 4,000, all the way up to $20,000, depending on how much you deposit and how much you trade. Check out those bonuses with the links in the description. Now let's dive in through the DXY. DXY here has me worried. Of course, we are going down. It's looking great. The DXY is highly correlated to the price of Bitcoin negatively. So DXY getting a drop here for the last few months. Obviously, that is good for Bitcoin. We're going up. But the moment the DXY gets a big major bounce or starts going sideways for that potential bounce here, that is when we have to be worried. We broke the bearish structure here from 2022, 2023 here, as you can see here on the chart. So we did manage to break the last lower high. The question is, are we going to create a higher low at this range? This is the moment that the DXY needs to break through so we can actually see the markets and crypto in general to continue to the upside like we've been doing the last few months, because this range is the value area low, okay, since early 2022. So we're looking at 2 years here of price action on the DXY. We also have the value area low from this range. So it's basically the value area low, for the last 2 years. Not only that, it's basically where the volume ends, right? So that is basically the value area low from this entire range. The moment the DXY starts moving beneath the 100 level, there is really no volume from this uptrend. We could have a major drop. That means that the markets, crypto in general, is just going to continue drastically, okay, to the upside. However, it is the last level of support. Last level of support could actually hold very, very nicely. We got the lower high trend line here from this descending wedge structure that we formed the last few months. Also, guys, this is massive, massive support. We got the 7/8 Fibonacci pivot low, pivot high, which is the last level, okay? It's the last level of support for the DXY. The moment we start going sideways here, possibly by next week, I want to see the DXY piercing through this level. That is absolutely wonderful. If this were to be the case, then yes, we are continuing to see the markets into 2024 absolutely exploding. This would be a clear sign of weakness, and we could absolutely waterfall for the next coming weeks and months here for the DXY. But this level of the low $100 zone, okay, is the moment that I'm going to be worried only if the price, okay, of the DXY dollar index starts going sideways, finding support at the value area low of this trading zone of the last 2 years. It's where the last volume stands. And the moment you go sideways here, that means that the DXY is holding this support potentially to create a higher low right over here and get a rise in the next coming months. And this, of course, would be devastating for the markets and crypto in general, okay? Still, we need to see that sideways action. The moment we go sideways, that is the moment I will be worried. Once the price, goes sideways, it's the moment that you can be worried for a possible reversal. As you can see here, as you can see right there, topping out. The moment you start chopping action here, having some choppy action, is the moment you can be worried for a possible bounce. And of course, it may be a good time to take some profits because we do not know how powerful that reversal can be. Not much more here to say on the DXY, guys. Next week is going to be crucial here to see if we're going to start maintaining here the last level of support, because this is really the last level of support. You lose this level and then obviously the drop is going to be massive, which is going to be good for markets and crypto in general. Something good news here, according to Hong Kong Security Commission, it says that it's prepared to accept Bitcoin ETF application. It seems like there's going to be FOMO worldwide to get some Bitcoin ETFs, okay? So nevertheless, whether we do get a big major pullback for Bitcoin of several $1,000s, DXY bouncing, just by mid-2024 after the halving, late 2024 entering into 2025 is likely to be massive. Of course, in the next 3 to 6 months, we can see a little bit of volatility. However, I would just see it as a huge major opportunity to buy the next possible dips in the next 3 to 6 months, because after that, in 6 to 18 months is going to be absolutely huge for Bitcoin and crypto in general. Stay cautious today. We do have at 2:30 some news here. We have core PCE price index, durable goods orders at 2:30 Central European time. So we might get some volatility. If you are in any trade positions, make sure to be defensive, be protective. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.